this is Hashim Francis, your host for Built to Prosper Radio. I'd like to thank you for taking the time out and joining us on this segment of Built to Prosper Radio, business transaction versus a business relationship. I'm very excited for you if you're listening to this program at this moment. If you're a sales professional, you're in any type of industry that equates to sales, this call is for you. This segment of this radio show is for you to help you to go to that next level of success, to propel yourself to that next level. And how would you like to be number one in your industry in sales? I know that's a big promise, a big statement to make, but, I've been in sales for over 2 decades now, and my success and learning the things I've learned from my mentors and learning how to be a sales professional and not a salesman, it took time. It took time to develop myself and become that professional I knew I can be. And I recall my first selling position was actually at a gas station. I was at 7 years old working at a gas station, looking to build some sort of income, earn some income. Now, I know that's a big statement to say to be earning income at 7 years old, but at 7 I had candy expenses. I wanted some sweet candy, some Now Laters, some gummy bears, and some Airheads, those type of candies I wanted to have when I was young, and it cost money in order to have. And also I had girlfriend expenses, at a young age at 7. So my first job was actually sales job was working at a gas station. And you may not look at it as a sales job, but I had to convince people that were driving their car into this gas station that I was the best at pumping gas. So I had to sell them on my service. I think I'm the first one that started the service attendant at a gas station. I think I should have patented that when I was younger. But that was my first sales position, just being able to sell my services to people that was attending the gas station. And I did very well because I was a people's person. And if you are in sales, you would need to develop people skills. It's very important that you get along with people. So that can be the first tip right there. You have to develop the skills of getting along with people. And that's the first thing. That's how I learned to interact with people and learn how to shake someone's hand, to look them in the eye. And when people would drive their car into this gas station, I would say, may I help you pump your gas? I was in New York City. And in the wintertime, it worked very well because in New York, no one wants to get out of their car into the cold. So my service was much needed, and I was saying, may I help you? I can go pay for your gas. Most people give me cash. We didn't have credit cards and debit cards back in those days. So people would actually give me cash to go pay. Now, that I had to gain a level of trust. First, I had to be likable. The customer had to like me in order to give me that cash. And I also had to earn their trust within that first 30 to 60 seconds of asking, could I pump their gas for them? So most of these people, I was averaging around $100 a week at first doing a gas station, and then it became a little overwhelming at that time. When you have bigger people, older people in the neighborhood knowing that a young kid at 7 years old is making over $100 a week, what do you think happened? They tried to rain on my parade and try to bogart the gas station, but I have worked out a great relationship. Another key, you always want to have great relationships with people you're working with. The owner of the gas station, I developed a relationship with him over time, building that trust with him, which he allowed me to be like the head service attendant at the gas station. So if anyone wanted to work at the gas station, they actually had to come through me. And I formulated a system of working, of being a great sales professional. I know this radio show is about business transaction versus business relationships. And at the gas station, when I was interacting with the customers, I wasn't looking to do a one-time pump transaction. I was looking to build a business relationship because I wanted them to continue to come back to that gas station and see me and pay me tips. The more nicer, I don't think that's the right word, more nicer, the nicer I was to the customers, the more they came back to see me at the gas station. So a business transaction is just a one-time shot, a one-time deal that you're doing with a customer. You haven't built any type of relationship. A business relationship is when the client, the customer, they become, as I would like to say, a part of your family. They get to know you. You get to know them. You get to know the ins and outs about a particular person. I like to say if you're doing business with someone and if you don't know their birthday, that's just a business transaction. If you don't know their kid's name, that's a business transaction. If you just signed them up for, say you're in the insurance industry and you're just, you sell your client, you meet a client, you prospect this client, you call them, you follow up, you do everything you do to win that business, but you never took the time to build a relationship to find out who is his children, who he grew up with, who is his parents, what is his background. I know some instances, most people, they just want to get the sale, want to earn their commission. I don't knock that, but if you want to build a successful business, a successful sales profession, you have to develop business relationships. It's very, very important that you develop business relationships. And the first tip was you have to develop people skills. Your people skills is something you have to work on an ongoing basis. You have to develop that patience with people. And a great book I'll recommend that you read is How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie, which is a phenomenal book to read, to study, but not just read it and study it, but also apply it on a day-to-day basis and get better, because I'm still working on my people skills. There's some people that just rub me the wrong way. You ever met someone that just rubbed you the wrong way and you're just like, it takes a lot of skill, it takes a lot of patience to deal with those type of people, and I have to learn to just smile and extend my hand and treat that person with kindness, because that's what everyone is looking for, to be treated with a little kindness. But let's get back to the business, because I know you're a sales professional and you want to be at the top of the industry. I believe I can be number one in sales in any industry. I think I can. It can be health, it can be insurance, it can be finances, I can be selling car tires, and I believe I can be the number one sales professional in that industry, because I found the principles that work, and it worked time and time again for me in sales. Recent 2011, I was the chairman's club member, the 2011 chairman club member in the financial world. I did over 115, my team and I did over $115 million in business that year. I personally did over $17 million in business. I did over 15,000 personal calls, outbound calls to client prospecting. I know that's a lot. It may sound scary, but if you want to do 17 million in personal business, you got to do the calls. That's the way the business works. You can't sit at home. I had to go out, build those relationships, and those 15,000 calls wasn't to just 15,000 people. It was actually building a relationship over time with my clients who became a part of my family, because I would call them on their birthdays, on their kids' birthdays. The kids were graduating. I would call them and congratulate the children for graduating, the wife's birthday or something, a special time in that person's life. I will always call I like to call them a part of my family, and just wish them well on that special day. And that's how you develop a business relationship. Yes, I already won the business. Yes, I already had the accounts, but it wasn't about that. It was about building that business relationship. And that's how you get referrals in business. When you treat someone, you have a business relationship with them, they're more willing to give you referrals. Now, if you just, say, for instance, you're a salesman, or I like to call them salesmen, that work off a business transaction, and you sit down with me, sell me a product, but I never hear from you anymore, and you call me 3 months, 6 months later and asking for referrals because your business has dried up, I wouldn't be willing to give you that information, because I know you'll treat my friends and family in the same manner. Now, if someone came to me and before they tried to sell me a product, they got to know who I am, know who my wife is, know who my children are, know what schools I graduated from, what's my favorite car, what's my place I would like to vacation, what type of dream home I would like, what's my dream vacation, how would I like to build my business, what type of career field I'm in. Someone like that, I will be more privy to giving referrals to, so they can expand their business. So that's how you build a very successful sales career. You have to develop business relationships. I don't call them sales relationship. I call them business relationship, because when you're in sales, you actually are building your own business. You are in business for yourself. You may be selling someone else's product, another company's product, but you are in business for yourself, because everything rises and falls on you. If you become a great salesman, you become the top in your industry, it all falls on you, not on the company, because the company may have been around for years, and if they've been around for years, 20, 30 years, and they earned over millions of dollars, there's nothing to do with the product or the service. It has everything to do with you. So if you want to be at the best, to be number one in any type of industry, I want you to take me up on this challenge. If you feel that I wouldn't be number one in that industry, send me an email at info@HashimFrancis.com, or you can send one to the company, info@BuiltToProsperCompanies.com, and send me the information about your company, about the industry that you're in. And I guarantee you give me 90 days, 6 months, I may have to take a year if there's an industry I need to learn about, and I guarantee you I can be number one in that industry because I know the principles that work. These things work. Building business relationships work. Remembering people on those special times, it worked. Learning about people's families, their background, it works. Following up consistently, it works. Not stalking. Do not stalk your clients. You want to build a relationship. Some people, it's very scary. They join the sales industry and they become stalkers. Stalkers are very scary. It can ruin your sales career. So you want to build great business relationships and follow up with people. Create an email system where you're sending out emails, or this day we become so technology, we send in text. But clients, I found out, they like when someone pick up the phone and wish them a happy birthday or congratulate them on achieving some sort of success. A personal touch is more important than an email. I know we're bombarded each day with hundreds of emails, and you probably read 1 to 5 of those emails. You do not read 100 emails a day. You wouldn't get anything done. But having that personal touch with your clients can do very well and can go a long way in your business. So I gave you the difference between a business transaction and a business relationship. So develop yourself, develop the skills. Remember to pick up the book, How to Win Friends and Influence People. Very great book by Dale Carnegie. Study it, apply it, study it, apply it, study it, apply it. Continue it to study that book until it becomes a habit in your life, till you're good at shaking hands, good at looking people in the eyes, good at remembering names, good at remembering people's birthday, good at remembering people's middle name, remembering things that make people tick. It's a great thing, especially if you're married. Great book to read for all husbands and wives to read, How to Win Friends and Influence People, so they can know how to develop great relationships. And also, you got to be consistent. If you're going to be in a sales profession, you have to be consistent in what you do. You have to have a vision for where you're going, where you want to be. If it's to be number one, write it down, put it in front of you so you know exactly what you're shooting for. And also let the people around you. Find someone that can challenge you. Find a person that's number one in the industry and ask them exactly what they're doing in the industry to make them number one. But if you follow and you copy exactly what they're doing and you add your personal style to it, I guarantee you'll be number one. But if you quit, you'll never be number one. Develop the relationships. Develop yourself to where you become a people's person, and do not quit. Have that persistence. Have that drive. Have that focus. Have that vision for where you want to be, and you'll be number one in your industry. I appreciate your time, and I appreciate you for joining us here at Built to Prosper Radio. This is empowerment radio. I'm your host, Hashim Francis, and I appreciate your time and joining me on the segment of Business Transaction or Business Relationship.
If you're ready to make a real difference in the world, I've got a great program just for you. In just 30 minutes, Deborah and Hashim Francis and their guests will mentor, coach, uplift, and inspire you through their new Built to Prosper radio show. Like the Built to Prosper companies and Built to Prosper University, Built to Prosper Radio is designed to provide real-life and wealth-building education to entrepreneurs, leaders, and everyday people. Catch the next segment of Built to Prosper Radio at blogtalkradio.com/Built